President Donald Trump recently announced a 10% tariff on Chinese imports, set to take effect on February 1, 2025. This follows his earlier declaration of 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, measures aimed at addressing issues such as illegal immigration and drug trafficking, particularly the influx of fentanyl into the United States. The Chinese government has expressed concerns over these actions, emphasizing the mutual disadvantages of trade wars, stating that there are no winners in tariff wars, and warning of the potential harm to all parties involved. The proposed 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico have triggered strong reactions. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau vowed to respond, highlighting Canada's critical energy resources vital to the U.S. economy. Ontario Premier Doug Ford described the tariffs as a declaration of war and announced retaliatory measures, including boycotting American-made alcohol and targeting products from Republican-held areas, particularly in the automotive sector. Companies like Volkswagen have voiced concerns about the economic repercussions. Volkswagen, which operates a major manufacturing plant in Puebla, Mexico, warned that these tariffs could harm American consumers and disrupt the global automotive industry. The company has advocated for free and fair trade to mitigate such risks. Meanwhile, China has been quietly ramping up its countermeasures. Over the past months, it has implemented initiatives largely unnoticed by mainstream media, including restricting the export of rare earth elements, critical for technology and defense production, to the United States. Additionally, China has reduced its oil imports from the U.S., a key component of bilateral trade, and has imposed tariffs exceeding 74.9% on specific American products, further intensifying the trade dispute. The scope of China's tariffs has expanded to include imports from the European Union, Japan, and Taiwan, demonstrating its strategic resistance to perceived economic hostility. The United States has responded with its own sweeping tariff measures. Besides the recent 10% tariffs, the Biden administration has announced significant hikes on various Chinese imports to address what it perceives as unfair trade practices. For instance, tariffs on Chinese-manufactured electric vehicles, EVs, have surged from 25% to a staggering 100%, resulting in total duties of 102.5%. This move aims to protect U.S. EV manufacturers like Tesla, Rivian, and other emerging players by reducing the competitiveness of subsidized Chinese EVs. Similarly, tariffs on lithium-ion EV batteries have risen from 7.5% to 25%, reflecting efforts to boost domestic battery production and reduce reliance on Chinese suppliers, who dominate the global market for critical minerals like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. The U.S. has also doubled tariffs on Chinese semiconductors, increasing them from 25% to 50% by 2025. This initiative aligns with broader strategies, such as the CHIPS and Science Act, to enhance domestic chip manufacturing and secure the U.S. technology supply chain. Additionally, medical products like syringes and needles, previously tariff-free, now face tariffs of up to 50%, while tariffs on certain respirators and face masks have risen to 25%. These measures aim to strengthen the domestic production of critical medical supplies, a vulnerability highlighted during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the renewable energy sector, tariffs on Chinese solar cells have doubled to 50%, and duties on critical minerals like natural graphite and permanent magnets are set to rise to 25% by 2026. These actions aim to foster the growth of domestic clean energy industries and reduce dependence on Chinese exports. The European Union has also implemented tariffs of up to 45.3% on Chinese EVs, citing subsidies that harm European manufacturers. Anti-dumping tariffs have also been applied to certain Chinese imports, such as the sweetener erythritol, to protect EU industries. Japan and Taiwan have taken less direct tariff measures but have pursued broader economic policies to counter China's growing influence. Japan is enhancing its supply chain resilience in semiconductors and critical minerals, while Taiwan, a key player in the global semiconductor industry, is diversifying its economic partnerships to mitigate risks associated with China's economic strategies. China, in turn, has imposed provisional anti-dumping tariffs on imports of polyacetyl copolymers, a specialized industrial plastic, from the United States, European Union, Japan, and Taiwan. Tariffs on U.S. firms range from 57.2% to 74.9%, making it increasingly difficult for American exporters like DuPont and Celanese Corporation to remain competitive in the Chinese market. EU firms face a tariff rate of 42%, slightly less prohibitive but still a significant barrier. Leading European producers, such as BASF and Celanese subsidiary, supply high-performance materials to key industries, but these tariffs will likely diminish their competitiveness in China. These escalating trade measures underscore the growing competition among major global economies in critical industrial and technological sectors, reflecting a complex environment where nations strive to safeguard their economic interests while grappling with the challenges of globalization and interdependence. Japanese exporters are now facing a significant challenge with the implementation of a 43.7% tariff rate on polyacetyl copolymers, slightly above the EU's rate. This reflects the competitive pricing and robust presence of Japanese firms in the Chinese market. Historically, Japan's proximity to China and their strong trade ties have positioned it as a key supplier of engineering plastics, including polyacetyl copolymers. Major players such as Mitsubishi Engineering Plastics and Polyplastics Company Limited, which specialize in high-performance materials for automotive, medical, and electronic uses, are likely to feel the impact. These tariffs threaten established supply chains, particularly in automotive manufacturing, where Japanese materials are widely used for components like gears and fuel system parts. However, Japanese companies' focus on innovation and specialized applications could help them retain some market share despite the increased costs. Meanwhile, Taiwanese exporters are facing a comparatively lower tariff rate of 32.6%. This suggests that the Chinese government found less evidence of aggressive pricing or market penetration from Taiwan. Taiwan's strong petrochemical and plastics industry, led by companies like Formosa Plastics Group and Changchun Plastics Company Limited, remains a key supplier of polyacetyl copolymers for electronics and industrial machinery. While the new tariff will raise costs for Taiwanese firms, the lower rate may allow them to maintain a foothold in the Chinese market, especially in niche applications or with price-sensitive buyers. This places Taiwan in a slightly advantageous position compared to other affected regions, though trade volumes will still likely decline. Polyacetyl copolymers, also known as polyoxymethylene, POM, are high-performance engineering thermoplastics renowned for their mechanical properties, such as high strength, rigidity, and thermal resistance. These features make POM an ideal alternative to metals like copper, aluminum, and zinc, offering manufacturers cost-effective and performance-enhancing solutions across various industries. In the automotive sector, POM's low friction coefficient and excellent wear resistance make it suitable for components like gears, bearings, and fuel system parts. Its dimensional stability ensures reliability under thermal stress and mechanical load, enhancing vehicle performance. Additionally, POM's resistance to fuels and lubricants makes it ideal for under-the-hood applications. In electronics, its insulating properties and stability in varying environmental conditions make it valuable for connectors, switches, and housings, ensuring durability and precision. In medical technology, POM addresses the demands of mission-critical components with high strength, stiffness, and resistance to a broad range of chemicals. Its FDA compliance and low extractable properties make it suitable for applications like dry powder inhalers and insulin syringes. Industrially, POM's combination of mechanical strength, low friction, and chemical resistance is ideal for producing durable parts like pump components, valve parts, and conveyor belts. China's recent imposition of provisional anti-dumping duties on polyacetyl copolymers, ranging from 3.8% to 74.9%, is set to significantly alter market dynamics. Between January and November 2024, China imported approximately $49 million worth of polyacetyl copolymers from the United States, Japan, Taiwan, and Germany, underscoring its reliance on foreign suppliers. These tariffs are expected to disrupt industries dependent on these materials, such as automotive, electronics, and medical equipment manufacturing. Businesses may diversify their sourcing strategies by seeking alternative suppliers or increasing investments in domestic production. By promoting local manufacturing, China aims to reduce reliance on foreign imports, especially from countries heavily impacted by the tariffs. However, these measures will likely increase the cost of imported polyacetyl copolymers, driving up prices for end products and placing additional financial strain on consumers. The tariffs also risk straining trade relationships between China and affected exporting nations. In response, these countries may implement retaliatory measures, further escalating global trade tensions. For instance, the United States previously imposed a 100% duty on Chinese electric vehicles, effective from September 2024. Such reciprocal actions could create a cycle of retaliation, destabilizing international trade and markets. Importers in China may look to diversify their supply chains by sourcing materials from countries not subject to tariffs or investing in the development of alternative materials with similar properties to polyacetyl copolymers. Although tariffs are intended to protect domestic industries, they can have counterproductive effects. Higher tariffs lead to increased production costs, forcing businesses to either absorb these expenses or pass them on to consumers, resulting in higher prices for everyday goods. This places additional economic pressure on households, reducing overall economic welfare. Furthermore, prolonged trade conflicts risk escalating into broader political and geopolitical tensions, potentially destabilizing global alliances. Such disruptions to international supply chains could weaken global cooperation and exacerbate economic instability. China's imposition of these duties reflects its broader strategy to strengthen domestic production and reduce dependence on foreign imports.